Alright guys, so today I want to go over how we do the Cutlist optimization. So the first thing you're going to do is we go into a website called cutlistoptimizer.com. I'll throw a link to this down in the description, and it's totally free to use and very thorough, and this is the plans, as you can see, for the project we just completed, our kitchen pantry. And I'm going to go over real quick, try to keep this under 5 minutes, real quick, how to use this website and how it can help you be more productive when making plans. Alright, so first things first, we're going to the top right corner here, we're going to select the three dots, new blank project. Okay. Alright, so here's basically the layout of things. Up here you have your settings bar up in the top right corner. Settings are going to be language, optimization, priority, which I typically keep it as least wasted area. You can also do least number of cuts, but I like to conserve plywood the best I can because it's expensive, so we do least wasted area. We're going to do generic settings. You could also set up the millimeters, centimeters, inches, fractional if you'd like, but generic seems to work the best for me. I just use decimals, and I only go down to 2 decimal places. You could do more if you wanted to get into thousandths and such, but for the most part, most of the cuts I do are going to remain in like the 2 decimal zone, so we'll go with that. Okay. Next thing you want to do for setup is to account for your blade kerf. I use Diablo blades on most of my equipment, and the blade kerfs on the Diablo blades are 0.09. You can just pull that information off of the blade packaging or anywhere else, or you could just measure it with a micrometer if you wanted, or however you want to do it. Veneer calipers, whatever. Labels on panel, I select yes. I don't do any of these other things. Use only from one sheet of stock. That's not something I use typically. Consider material, I don't typically use because I'm usually building out of all the same materials. Edge banding considerations I don't add in, and grain direction is a good one if you're considering doing something where you want to have matching grain directions, but for most of my projects it's not too much of a concern, especially in this particular project because I'm painting. So you go with just basically the more of these you select, the more it's going to arrange the stuff on the panels in a particular pattern according to what you're putting in as a criteria. However, that's also going to increase your waste simply because it's got to arrange things the way you're saying. So the next step is selecting panels. So the panel section is where you're going to put your parts list, and stock sheet section is where you're going to put your stock, what you're cutting from. So for our purposes, we're going to select panels, and I have a list here of our pieces that we're going to do. So we're going to label everything. The first thing is going to be 31 inches by 76 inches. Quantity is going to be 1. The label for that is going to be back. Second piece is going to be 11 1/4 by 76. Quantity for that's going to be 2, and these are going to be our sides. Third is going to be 31 inches by 10 3/4, and we're going to do 3 of those. Those are going to be our shelves, and the last piece, I'm sorry, those are going to be the tops and the bottoms rather. And the last piece are going to be our shelves, and those are 30 inches by 10 1/2, and we're going to do 4 of those, and they're going to be shelves. So this first one here, we're going to turn it to the top bottom. Alright, the second thing you're going to put in are your stock sheets. So for ours, we're using just the standard 3/4 inch maple veneer ply. We know that they are 96 inches long, 48 inches wide, and I have 2 of them, and we're just going to label those plywood. Alright, and just double check all your sizes and your measurements, make sure everything's correct. And when you are ready and you have your stock sheets input along with your panels, your parts, panels is just another word for parts, don't get confused, panels equals parts, stock sheets are the sheets of plywood, you're going to go ahead and hit the calculate button, and you give it a few minutes here, and it's going to run some algorithms to determine the best cutting path and best layout for your project. Once this comes up, you can see there it's figuring out a solution, it's working everything out, and alright. right, looks like we are at a solution there. Okay, good. So, real easy to read. The grayed out areas, if you have color selected, up here you can select color. You can either do colored filled panels like we have, or you could select black and white format. It's whatever your preference really is. I like color filled panels because it separates the parts out by color. Black and white's pretty easy though. For what I'm about to show you here, I'll keep it on black and white for a second. The gray lines indicate wasted areas. That's pieces of plywood that are going to be offcuts, and the white areas are your parts. If you go back to color panels, you can see that it's grayed out to indicate the offcuts, and the color parts are going to be your parts. Now, if you zoom in, I know it's kind of difficult to see, however, right here in between, you can actually see that they do account for kerf. So remember that when you're laying out your panels based on this layout guide, when you measure everything, so if you're measuring off this edge, you know, you're going to measure from here, you'll measure over 5.57 inches, you're going to strike a line. That line is going to be kerf accounted for. So it's 5.57 inches to the edge of the kerf. So you're going to cut directly at 5.57, and that'll give you the correct overlay for this part and subsequently for the following part, if you just keep following that, knowing that this program already accounted for your kerf sizes. The next thing you could do is you can turn your dimensions on and off. I leave mine on. You can increase your text level, but as you can see, once you start increasing it too large, the parts tend to get bumped into each other, and it becomes harder to read. So I keep it somewhere in the middle where it's bold enough to read, but all the part sizes can fit in their boxes. Obviously, you can zoom in and out, like I said. And then the other big thing that you can do is you can look over here at your statistic sheets. This will give you the number of sheets used and your wasted area percentages. Sometimes you can look at this, you might be able to run it a different way or try a different method to see if you can get less waste. In my particular instance, I'm just using such big parts for a lot of this that it's just the nature of the way things are going to be. There's going to be some wasted space. Your stock sheets will give you more of a direct breakdown, number of cuts, and then this is the last important part of this whole thing, which is the cut list. This is how you know that this is basically the program's suggested cut pattern, and I've found that it's pretty accurate. So as you can see, as I scroll through it, right, it's going to highlight these lines red. So it's saying that should be my first cut, that rip cut across the board. Second cut for that panel, I'm sorry, cross cut across the board. Second cut's going to be a rip cut up to remove that piece, and the third will be a final rip cut that will remove that piece. And what that's doing is it's allowing for you to keep this large piece of offcut solid and not have any waste by doing your rip cuts first, and it's also figuring in the best way to get the most accurate cuts on your panels. And then it breaks it down by the second panel. Obviously you can go through and it'll show you all your cuts again. Very, very useful, and this, although it's not animated when you print it out, obviously, this will show the list on your final printout. So, that being said, getting to the final printout, how we do that, up top right corner, again, we're going to click on the three dots. If you choose to make an account, you can save project, load project, and whatnot. I've never exported the image. I imagine it would work just as well. I export to PDF. It does it automatically. You do not need a PDF maker or PDF software on your computer. All you need is a PDF reader, which is free. You can download Adobe Acrobat or any other number of free PDF readers. So we're going to click Export to PDF. We're going to give our project a name, which it already has a name here, but we're going to name ours Kitchen Cabinet. Font size will be normal. Pantry cabinets, the header text for it, I always throw my website in there as well. Summary, cuts table, and dates. So your summary is going to be this information over here, and your cut table, which I said was very important, is this piece here. Keep your cut table on there. Date, it's up to you, whatever, I just leave it on. Hit OK, and it's generating a PDF. It's going to take a few seconds. And ours is down here in the bottom left corner. Hit open, and here you go. So this is your summary up at the top. This is going to give you all your parts, your panels, your stock sheets, everything else, along with your website, yada, yada, yada. It comes out real nice, very professional looking. This is something that if you wanted to, I don't know why you would need to, but if you wanted to, you could even give to a client, just to give a client an idea on what it is you're doing. I don't really see a reason why you would, but nevertheless, you could. And then on the left, you see with each panel, right, this is panel 1, you have your cut list here. This is going to show you your panel cuts in the direction in which you're supposed to cut. And panel 2, these are your cuts, and everything's color coded and nice and good to go. So that is it. Hopefully you found this tutorial to be helpful, and hopefully this will help you in your projects. If you have any other questions, you can always hit us up. You can go to dukesdecorli.com. There's the news for today. And you can catch us on our website. We have all kinds of good stuff on there. We have project plans on our website as well, where you can click on these pictures and download project plans. And obviously contact information for us as well, where you can drop us a request there, and we'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. So, thank you very much, and, good luck building stuff. We hope to hear from you guys soon.